Good morning. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing. It's a podcast brought to you by Joyce House. We're so happy that you're here today. Caregiver Crossing is a podcast created just for you, the caregiver. And you're listening to the best of Caregiver Crossing. Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing 93 WIVC. Terry, Stacy, Tina McIntosh, thanks for joining us this morning. On the phone with us, it's Jason Tomsci. He's the communication director at AARP here in the city. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
We're good. It's glad to we're really glad to have you with us. I always tell Tina, oh, he's such a great guest. I love him. I love him.
It's always fun to be around.
Tina?
Well, Jason, I don't know how much fun this one's going to be, though. It's about how we fail miserably at our New Year's resolutions.
And we do.
But truly,
shouldn't look at it as failing, just another opportunity to get it right.
Oh, and another. You've got a couple of articles that AARP has put out. I know you're here in the state of Indiana, but obviously AARP does great work across the nation. What can you tell us about New Year's resolutions? It's that time of the year to be thinking about it, and do we even keep them, Jason?
Well, I think it's a mixed bag. Depends on who you talk to. But sticking to resolutions, it isn't easy, but it can be done. And I think, and kind of what the article has shown that's on AARP.org is that it's better to make resolutions that are maybe attainable. So kind of not saying lower expectations, but make them a little bit more realistic. And some of that is just, be realistic. Think smaller when you're thinking about that. So an example of that was, say you want to I want to read more. Well, that's kind of broad in general. So why don't you say something along the lines of, I want to read 40 pages of a book 3 nights a week. So that's a little bit of the kind of another part of it is being specific. So think small, be specific, be realistic, and then, have a plan. Like all things, have a plan as these obstacles come in place about how you're going to get around them.
Well, I love
to keep you on the path.
Jason, in the article, it says, like sometimes we'll say, I want to save enough money to go to Italy. I mean, how many times have we made big resolutions?
Yeah.
And honestly, Terry, I don't know if you know this, but somewhere between 40 and 60 of us do not keep our resolutions. And then they say within 1 week after we make them, 77% of us have already, I won't say failed, Jason, but we've not kept our resolution.
Yeah.
So, but being big, that save enough money to go to Italy, Jason, instead of being that big, what's an example of what we could do for that?
Well, it was like the Italy example would be, instead of, take your lunch to work one day a week and save that $20 that you didn't spend and then put that towards your trip for Italy. Or, that's kind of one of the ones of, it's things of, I want to spend less time on Facebook, is something that, people maybe would say out there was, well, why don't you drill it down a little bit more and say, I don't want to spend more than 30 minutes on Facebook. So it's one of those things where instead of being general in your, request or your hopes for the new year, it's be a little bit more specific and be realistic.
Jason, do you keep your New Year's resolutions to yourself, or do you share them with others? Because to be held accountable.
It helps to have that accountability. I don't think I've actually done any New Year's resolutions because maybe I'm scared of failing as well.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to try to take some of the advice that we have here. But I think it's good to have that kind of wingman, if you will, to help you out as you're going through these things that hold you accountable, and just make sure that they're not somebody that's going to be a bit of a pushover who will be like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let's just skip out on this.
Do you know what Terry makes us do every year?
What's that?
Terry makes us come up with a word for the year.
Pick up a word. Just a word.
Okay.
And then it's, and I think I've used this one before time and time again, but it's been patience. Every year you pick a word, patience being one of them. And then that word seems to help me better than actually putting down something that says I'm going to lose weight or, something bigger. It's just a word. And it seems to work for me. Now, last year I wrote down the word, it was Bible, because I wanted to start reading the Bible again. And so the word Bible, it just seemed to help me more than to say, okay, I'm going to read the Bible.
Right, because that's intimidating.
It's just a word.
Yeah.
It was a word, and I thought about the word, and when the word came up, then I thought, I need to read read a couple more pages, so I can get through that. But that's just me. And somebody taught me that. It was a listener taught me that.
Well, and that's right along the line of kind of what we're talking about, of that, the word is, that's thinking small. That just one word, something as small as that, can help kind of trigger you to remember, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to go.
I think my word would be no.
No is a good word, though. It is a good word.
Right?
No.
Protect yourself.
Yep, protect yourself. That's another good one. Just protect yourself.
Yeah. Are you agreeing with me, or are you saying no?
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying that no, I don't remember.
This is very confusing. That's a bad word. Jason, there's another article that you've got. By the way, if you're just joining us, you're hearing the voice of Jason Tomsci, who is the communications director at AARP Indiana. All things AARP. And we're looking at New Year's resolutions. Jason, there's another article, and I'm not allowed I don't know if we're allowed to say have sex on the show or not.
You can say it.
Good, because it's on the list.
It's on the list?
It's allowed.
From AARP?
Yeah.
Hey, it's disrupt aging is what we're about at AARP. You'll hear that a lot from us.
But no, I mean, you did in this article, y'all talk about maybe, if you got drink wine or eat chocolate or have sex or take a nap, some of those things. And Jason, I know you say be specific. We're probably not going to get real specific about that one here on the show. But I did like how in that article, it gave some scientific studies to help keep us on that. Have you read that article? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. And I think it just really kind of focuses it from just staying healthy requires to kind of be well-rounded and balanced, and a lot of life's enjoyable activities can boost your health. So, and those are things like the drink wine, the eat chocolate, everything in moderation. The laughing, the dancing, the taking a nap, and of course the having sex part of things. So,
and truly, they say in here frequent sex lowers prostate cancer risk in men. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So,
what does it do for women?
It also says something along the lines too of dancing is linked to lower the risk of dementia in older Americans. So,
Jason, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Dancing.
There's a lot of things, and then I guess something that we should all be advocating for is that regular naps help us with concentration, creativity, and memory. So I don't know. I might have to put that in higher up to the people at AARP about maybe we can work siestas into our day.
Some places are building, if you're really, a big giant company, they have nap rooms or nap pods now where you can go and take a 10-minute, 15-minute nap.
Wouldn't that be so weird to be like, I'm going into my nap pod?
I'm going to my nap.
I don't know how I feel about that. I was so tired recently. Sorry, this is a little off topic, but we were driving back from Fort Wayne, went to visit my niece and nephew, and I had both my girls in the car. My oldest ran into the gas station. I kept saying, I'm just tired. I'm really tired. So she had run in to get gum or something, right? She came back out. I'm not kidding. It was 2 minutes. She clocked it, and I was sound asleep in the front seat. She opened the door, and I said, I was asleep.
I wish I could fall asleep that fast sometimes, but you must have been dead dog tired.
Dude, I was dreaming. Yeah. I mean, I was in the cycle.
You were really in the REM.
Yeah. I was in the REM.
REM stage.
But Jason, to your point, it did help me with my concentration driving home. I was much better. So yeah. I'm all for naps, but I don't know how I feel about a pod.
No, you're not a big enough company yet.
We'll get there.
To get your pods.
Yeah. I just like to sleep in my car.
Jason Tomsci is with us. He's the communications director for AARP. What's the website?
AARP.org/IN.
There you go. AARP.org/IN. And we're talking about New Year's resolutions, having them, not having them, what they should be, how to make them better. We're going to continue on, though. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing. We're glad you're here with us. Caregiver Crossing is supported by AARP. They are really leading a revolution in the way people view and live life after 50. We love that they're working to empower people to choose how they live as they age. We're also supported by our friends at American Village, a senior living community right here in Indianapolis. They offer a full continuum of senior housing and healthcare solutions designed to accommodate a variety of lifestyle choices and healthcare needs. And a big, big thank you to Majestic Care. Majestic Care provides community-based skilled nursing throughout Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, specializing in clinical services based on local needs.